Hello everyone, I am back with another Wi-Fi battle. My opponent for this battle is going to be TheKillerNacho once again, and this is going to be another OU battle. And I'm going to pretty much be using the same team that I used against Gohan in the last battle that I showcased, so yeah, because as you saw, I actually was able to handle Gohan's annoying defensive core, so I was kind of thinking, you know what, on the off chance that TheKillerNacho decides to bring something annoying like Toxapex for example, I want to see if I can actually handle his team once again, because like I don't know, I wanted to see how it fared anyways. Like I wasn't necessarily expecting the Toxapex, but I wanted to see how I do with being able to rack up hazards against him and then getting a late game sweep with Mega Lopunny. Now interestingly enough, he actually brought his own Mega Lopunny as well, but he also brought other things like Zygarde and Toxapex that I mentioned, and Ferrothorn. He has a bunch of crazy mons actually. In fact, this team is a bunch of power actually, if I had to say so myself. But yeah, anyways, here I believe I'm gonna lead off with Jirachi here, and I think he's gonna lead off with Thundurus. So yeah, Thundurus-T, not I. And here, what I wanted to do was actually go for the Heart Stamp, but I wanted to see if he'd actually go for an electric move. And he actually does go for Volt Switch. Now here, this kind of gave me the idea, is this thing scarfed? I wasn't sure, so what I was going to do here instead is actually switch into Roserade to see if it is choiced. And if it's not, does it have Grass Knot? And here, he actually scares me and actually goes for Nasty Plot, and I was like, oh shoe leather. I have to actually just stay in and hope to take a Hidden Power Ice if that's what it carries. But he actually just goes for the Volt Switch on my Roserade, thankfully, and I do end up just going for the Sludge Bomb. Because if this thing stays in and just goes for Hidden Power Ice and I just don't attack it with something good, I would probably have just lost the Roserade, and I didn't want to lose it for nothing basically. But he does switch into Ferrothorn, which sucks because now I'm forced to switch in Mega Lopunny because I'm convinced he's not going to go straight for the Gyro Ball. I think he was going to go straight for the hazards, whether it be Stealth Rocks or Spikes. But yeah, and now he's going to switch into Toxapex, in which I Mega Evolve into Mega Lopunny. And here I go for Drain Punch thinking he might want to stay in or something. Just because he went for Stealth Rocks afterwards, and I figured he might want to like Leech Seed or something. Plus he knows that I tend to predict him a lot, so I kind of figured he might want to predict me to predict him to do something, so yeah. But that didn't happen. He just switched into Toxapex and took a Drain Punch, and now I'm forced to switch out because I don't want this thing to Baneful Bunker me. I do switch in Skarmory to get maybe a layer of Spikes up or something, because he's going to actually go for Toxic Spikes here, and I'm like, oh boy. Thankfully I do have Roserade to get rid of them. I just have to make sure I don't weaken my Roserade, because right now it actually did get hella weakened by the Thundurus, so yeah. And here he's going to be forced to switch out. Well, I don't think he gets forced to switch out, but he just chooses to switch out. And it makes sense why, because he knew that I was going to go for Spikes. And now I have to switch out myself. And I do hard switch into Jirachi, hoping he doesn't go for the Thunderbolt or even Volt Switch. He does go for Nasty Plot, which is what I expected. Now here I have to basically once again do what I tried to do in the last battle with Gohan. I'm going to actually try to go for the Heart Stamp and try to get the flinch on this thing, because if I get the flinch I get to take this thing out. But once again I do not get flinch. And here Jirachi goes down, which I honestly don't care at this point, because this guy just deserves to go down if he's not going to keep flinching my damn opponents right now. But whatever. Here I just send in Lopunny now. I know this thing is not Choice Scarf now, because he had Nasty Plot and then Volt Switch, so I'm definitely just going to go for a nice safe return here. And he's going to go into Toxapex, which is annoying because I hate Toxapex. And here I'm just going to go straight for the return. I do get a crit, which actually matters a great ton, because honestly, now he's forced to switch out to get some Regenerator HP back. Had I not gotten the crit, he would have just been able to be free to recover again. But because of the crit, now he's going to be forced to switch out, and then now he has to lose Thundurus, which is actually really good for me, because this Thundurus is actually very annoying in the sense that it likes to just set up every time it's putting me in a bad position. But now it's gone, and now I can't set up anything. Now here I think he's just going to go back into Toxapex, and then here I decide to switch out Lopunny, because seeing how he switched it in tells me that what he wants to do is just probably Poison Stall me by going for Baneful Bunker, or just recovering, and my Lopunny's already poisoned thanks to the freaking Toxic Spikes that I got up that I wasn't able to send in Roserade for, because he sent in Toxapex, I mean not Toxapex, Thundurus. And now here I'm going to I think go for the Giga Drain, predicting a switch. It's either that or go for a Hidden Power Ground, which was the only hidden power. Yeah, I go for Giga Drain. I was hoping he'd stay in so that I can get some HP back with Rose Raid and then switch out, but he actually just straight up switches out, which is actually a much better play in my opinion, because look, now my Rose Raid gets little to no recovery right now, and it's getting withered down little by little, especially now that the rocks are up too. So I'm gonna switch out right here because my Rose Raid can't do anything to this Ferrothorn. Unfortunately, this Rose Raid does not carry Hidden Power Fire like I wish it did. And here I'm gonna hard switch into Skarmory, and thank goodness I did because he actually went for the Gyro Ball. Had I stayed in with Rose Raid, I would have just lost it right there. But here, thankfully, he went for Gyro Ball. And here, what I'm gonna do with Skarmory is just set up another layer of spikes, because the more hazards I can get up on this team, the better. Like, I don't think he has anything on his team other than the Mew, possibly, that can get rid of the hazards anyways. And if he does get rid of the hazards, he's going to get rid of his own rocks as well, which will benefit me as well, because honestly, the rocks are withering my Rose Raid down very significantly. So if he wants to go for Defog with Mew, then be my guest. Now here's Skarmory, I switch it out and switch in Cofagrigus, just to now, I think, get Toxic Spikes up. But he's going to switch out as I switch in Cofagrigus, and he's gonna go into Zygarde. I think this was a double switch, and I did anticipate him to switch out again because, you know, I scare him with a sense that I can actually try to go for Will-O-Wisp on the Zygarde. So, but instead I think I go for Toxic Spikes, and he's gonna switch out. He's gonna go into Toxic Spikes, which is kind of a good thing because this Toxic Spikes is definitely the one thing that can get rid of the Toxic Spikes that I lay on my side of the field, on his side of the field. But since he switched in Toxic Spikes, now I can actually just force him to switch out and then send in Toxapex. So here what I do now is just try to go for the knockoff. He's gonna switch out Toxapex though, obviously, because he knows he needs to send out what's it called? He needs to send it back in to get rid of the Toxic Spikes. And I knew that he was gonna switch just so that he can get rid of the Toxic Spikes. And I go into Swampert, but I wasn't expecting Ferrothorn. What I do here though is actually try to stay in, which was super risky because he could have just KO'd me right here, except not really. I think that was later in the match. I'm gonna switch out because I don't want to take a Power Whip, and I actually did anticipate a Power Whip right here, as you can see. He did go for Power Whip, which is why I didn't want to stay in, at least for the first time, because I do think I switch in on this Ferrothorn with Swampert later. But here I switch out and go into Skarmory, and I think here I Roost. Yeah, I do Roost, and he's gonna Leech Seed me, I believe, because he knew I was gonna Roost. And then here I think I try to get another layer of spikes afterwards, after the Leech Seed. Yeah, this thing gets leftovers, which is annoying because it actually negates a lot of the hazards damage that I racked on this thing. And as a result, this thing remains healthy basically, which is super annoying. Now he's gonna switch out and go back into Toxapex. I do think I get a third layer of spikes here. I don't think I switch out. Yeah, I do get the layer of spikes up. I did stay Leech Seeded, but like right now, due to how annoying this team is right now with Toxapex and Ferrothorn, the one thing I just wanted to do was just get rid of this, or just get all the hazards I can up right now, because at least that'll put pressure on this damn Toxapex who keeps getting his HP back with Regenerator, which is super annoying actually. Here I'm going to hard switch into Swampert, which was super risky, but like I said, this Toxapex was just annoying me so much, and I was really thinking he was going to go for the Toxic Spikes here just to poison the rest of my team, but he didn't do that. He's actually going to go for Skull, which thankfully doesn't burn me, and now he's going to switch back into Ferrothorn and take a lot of spikes damage, as you can see. Here I go for Scald regardless, just because I kind of had a feeling he would switch in this Ferrothorn, and I was hoping for the burn, which I thankfully do get, because now if I can just get in Cofagrigus in safely, I can just maybe go for the Hex or something, since now it's burn and whatnot. But what I do here is actually stay in, which was once again risky, and try to go for Stealth Rocks, because I want to get at all the hazards up right now, because this annoying ass team is literally not getting punished enough with its fatness basically. Because this Ferrothorn, look at it, once again it took all that damage from the hazards, and once again it's getting back to full HP, which is crazy. So here I think I'm forced to switch out now because I don't want to freaking stay Leech Seeded on my Swampert. I go into Skarmory. And I think here what I do is, oh no, actually this was a double switch. I switched into Skarmory and he switched in Mew. Now seeing how he switched in Mew tells me that maybe this Mew had Energy Ball or something, because, why else would he switch it in? Like, what if I stayed in with Swampert? Here I stay in because I was afraid he would try to go for Nasty Plot or even Defog. and I wanted to just go for the Brave Bird to get damage on this thing before anything. But it didn't do that, and as a result, it just went for Fire Blast, took out my Skarmory, which probably sucks, because now how the hell am I going to wall the Ferrothorn? But here I go into Lopunny, just fake out, because I didn't think I'd be able to take it out with a return from where it was at. And now here I just go for the return and hope that I can take it out. Seeing how I was able to take it out with Lopunny tells me that this Mew was probably the Meunium Z Mew, with the one with the Genesis Supernova, which thank goodness I didn't get him to get that off right now, because I kind of didn't want him to get that off. Because that would be kind of like styling on me, which is not what I want right now. So here I'm going to switch out and go into Roserade, because he switched in Toxapex as soon as I took out the Mew. And he's going to go for Recover, which was what I anticipated. And here I'm just going to go for a Giga Drain to get some HP back. He does stay in, thankfully, because if he switched into Ferrothorn, that would have just been all the more bad for me. Now here, I think after going for the Giga Drain, he's definitely going to go for the Toxic Spikes now. And then after this, he's definitely going to switch out and go into Ferrothorn again. Here, I was about to double switch into Mega Lopunny, but I really felt like he was just going to stay in and Scald. Like, remember that last battle with Gohan where he literally did nothing but surfing? I thought the Snack was going to do something similar here and just go straight for Scald. But he didn't do that. He actually was a little bit smarter and actually went for the switch into Ferrothorn, which is almost dead, thankfully, thanks to the hazards, but it's going to cost me Roserade, unfortunately. The plan was to get Cofagrigus in to go for the Hex, but he was playing so mixed offensively, mixed defensively well, that I just freaking was able to, I was not able to send in Cofagrigus on this Ferrothorn. As a result, my Roserade was the one that had to take out this Ferrothorn, which was annoying. And now it's super weakened, and now I can't even switch this thing into rocks anymore, so therefore I just have to let Roserade die here, unfortunately, which sucks. He's going to send in Lopunny, which is the Mega, and he's just going to finish off my Roserade with a Fire Punch, which sucks. So as a result, now here I have to actually send in, I believe, Swampert, just to get an Earthquake, just to get damage on this Lopunny. Maybe put it in range for my Cofagrigus to finish it off with a knockoff. I'm hoping it does enough to where it gets to the red HP, because my Cofagrigus can't really touch this thing either, honestly. I do proc my Yappa Berry, because it did a lot. Now here, I do think I made a misplay. I do believe I made a misplay here. Because what I do here, after going for this Earthquake, looking at the amount of HP I have here, I was kind of certain he could have taken a I could have sworn I could have taken a high jump kick from this range. But what I do instead is switching Cofagrigus, which was very healthy. And now I just switch it in on a high jump kick. And I was aware that Mega Lopunny does carry Scrappy, but I don't know. Like, I for some reason thought that it was a good idea just switching Cofagrigus and then try to knock it off or something. But I don't know. I think I should have just let Swampert take the high jump kick as well, because I think it could have taken it, because my Swampert is defensive. But I don't know. I think this was a misplay at the very. I think it was a misplay actually. Yeah, because I think if I lost Swampert right there, I could have just sent in Mega Lopunny and then just fake out. And if he switches out into Toxapex or something, I could have just gone for the return or something afterwards. Like, he would have no switch-ins very easily at the very least. And not to mention, he wouldn't be able to lock himself into Extreme Speed with Zygarde, because I'm confident that Zygarde that he has in the back of his team is actually Choice Bandit, not gonna lie. Since Choice Bandit Zygarde is actually really good. Here I send in Mega Lopunny though, because I lost Cofagrigus for no reason, I think. And then here I'm just gonna fake it out, take out his Lopunny. And now he's gonna freely send in Toxapex, which does take a lot of damage from the hazards, but at this point my Lopunny is also very weakened thanks to the Toxic Spikes. And I do go for return, hoping for another crit, because I honestly can't switch in Swampert because it's gonna take a Scald and then it's just gonna not be able to do anything. I do lose Lopunny here. And my last Pokemon is Swampert, which is also kind of healthy, but not really because it's already under half HP. I'm just going to go for the Earthquake, hoping to goodness sake he doesn't switch into Zygarde to preserve differential or anything like that. And he does let me at least take out the Toxapex, which is a gentleman thing to do, because I hate Toxapex so much. So for me to KO this thing is actually really good for me. But in the end, he's actually gonna win this match with Zygarde because the Zygarde is kind of healthy enough to take a hit from Swampert, and all he needs to do really is just go for the Outrage, basically its most powerful move, to ensure that Swampert goes down. And it does, and I lose Swampert and basically lose the match, which was kind of annoying because once again he freaking brought that annoying thing that was Toxapex, and he brought another annoying thing in Ferrothorn as well. But oh well, it's all good. At least this match was very, very close, and with the team that I brought, it did pretty well at the very least. Like, I may have lost to the Snack, but I mean, looking at the team I brought compared to his, it makes me feel kind of okay. Like yeah, it sucks that I lost, but at least I put in work to at least make this match really, really close, and it was a pretty long one, and it was pretty good as well. So yeah, well, the Toxapex was really, really annoying. Yeah, I did play around it well enough. I could have, had I not, I feel like maybe had I not sacked Swampert there, or sacked Cofagrigus there, actually, not Swampert. Had I just stayed in with Swampert and on the Mega Lopunny, took the high jump kick, and then maybe get a free switch into the Lopunny later, maybe I would have had a chance to win, but I don't know. Maybe not though. I could be wrong. But either way, this was a good game to the TheKillerNacho once again. I like battling this guy once again because he's really good, and unlike most hardcore competitive people, he's actually also competitive, but he also likes to have fun and just bring a lot of fun teams. Although this time around, it seems like what he brought was a lot of power, but it's all good. In fact, it actually kind of feels good to see him actually trying to beat me, because honestly, that's kind of what I expect from people like the TheKillerNacho, to actually battle to win, basically. But I mean, it can be annoying sometimes, just because there's some mons that I don't have the patience for, and Toxapex is one of them. But it's all good. Like I said, I still respect the TheKillerNacho for doing what he does, and it's to battle to win, basically. But yeah, anyways, thank you all for watching. I think I was talking too much, but yeah, thank you for watching, and feel free to leave your thoughts below in the comments if you want, and I'll catch you guys later, and take it easy.